This is so funny. My two favorite Americans. Based boomers. I love boomers. Trump with MLK. This is Brigitte Hassan. Can you pull these up? I think it's Brigitte Gabriel. Let's see. MLK, Trump, Brigitte Gabriel. That folder. Trump with MLK. Trump all his age, his current age roughly, 70s. And MLK, his age back then, mid-late 30s. And they're hanging out in this AI photograph, fake photograph / fake painting AI thing. And this guy, John Cooper, there it is. Brigitte Gabriel tweeted a few days ago, I guess. MLK Jr. and President Donald J. Trump, two of my favorite Americans. And it's this weird, funny, dramatic lighting, sort of almost disturbing, of a Trump smiley face, and the face is almost cartoonish, and MLK smiley face, and his face is a little bit less, but also almost cartoonish, and they're smiling in this cold light in this. So it's not the most attractive picture, but their smiles their purported AI smiles are pleasant. I'm assuming that this is AI. Somebody said it was photoshopped. I don't think so. I think it's AI. Artificial intelligence. And she said, my two favorite Americans. So Brigitte Gabriel, I know of her because, for one, I know she's been interviewed on the Jesse Lee Peterson show over the years, decades past. She made ACT for America. She's maybe an ex-Muslim or comes from an old Muslim country or something like that. But she's either a Christian or just a conservative gal. A firebrand type of a woman, outspoken. These bold women. There she is again with some more. What's that one say? Let me see. Okay. If MLK were alive today, I have no doubt in my mind that he would be close friends with President Trump. MLK is Martin Luther King Jr., you guys. Some of us are just now learning, thanks to Uncle Tom 2 and the historian who's been on the Fallen State with JLP. What's that guy's name? Chad Jackson. Because some of us don't research for ourselves. Some of you guys already knew all this stuff, accused him of being a communist, and he may well have been. Even renounced God at age 12 or something like that. Or went to college, became like a social gospel type of a guy, this MLK person. Civil wrong movement. So-called civil rights. Not the hero that we were taught, but she's funny boomer. Shout out to the boomers. I love boomers. This is how I felt about it. I mean, I didn't think he was ever my favorite, but, I felt positively towards him, I suppose. Yeah, I had no issue. Yeah, it sounds right. Judged by character, not color. Not that I thought that anybody actually even judged by color. I'm like, oh, those mean old nasty racists down in the South. I never really thought that way. I never really thought about it. And the more I've learned about those mean old nasty racists in the South, the more reasonable I find their positions, honestly, in many cases. There's an explanation for everybody's thinking. You can even sort of understand the insanity of the pro-abortion people, the way that Satan convinces them, But anyway, two men who risked everything for equality, says Brigitte Gabriel, talking about MLK and Trump, because Trump did risk a lot. MLK, yeah, I mean, he died. Equality is a false thing to go after. But two men who were spied on by the government, she said. MLK and DJT would have so much to talk about. No doubt that they would be close friends. Funny. She makes Trump look so much more like... That makes him kind of look beta in that picture. He's all leaning in, has his arm around. I mean, I know he's an affectionate man. But they're drinking like a big old pitcher / oversized cup of oversized glass of chocolate milk or something. Or coffee, or iced coffee. Sure, they should. Lord. But go back to number 1. John Cooper, this liberal guy, this is how I saw it. John Cooper tweeted, "Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Does this woman have no shame?" Angry face emoji. So angry he's turned red. John Cooper. And that's a male liberal. And old. He's like too old to be to be still a male liberal. But, you know, I guess everybody got their issues, their hang-ups. And I find it a little bit disturbing just because these AI images are gross. It's kind of weird. And then also, I am a little bit more disillusioned with MLK, not with Trump at this point. I'm not disillusioned with Trump. I may still have illusions about Trump that I need to shed, but by and large, like, Trump is head and shoulders above MLK in terms of being an American hero, in my opinion. Because Trump stood on truth. MLK, yeah, I mean, he would mix some truth in with his socialism, which is a lie, and crying racism and black victimhood, my, which is a lie, phony victimhood and supporting the unions and stuff. I don't think that he was the hero. He's dead, by the way. He got assassinated, I guess. I'm told. But Trump is a living hero. So, yeah, I find it a little disgusting, too. People were overreacting to it. Go down to number 3. Michael Knowles tweeted alternative timeline. He quote tweeted her and she retweeted it. Brigitte Gabriel. She's kind of a cute lady. Older, you know. Brown lady. Not Hispanic, I don't think. Alternative timeline Trump with an angry face. This is a little bit more alpha. And then Malcolm X. Him hanging out with Malcolm X. Michael Knowles. Michael Knowles, not to be confused with Beyonce's Matthew Knowles' daddy. Michael J. Knowles. Based, Italian, Catholic perhaps, Daily Wire guy, Michael Knowles, who's appeared on men's conferences with JLP. This is so fun and funny to me, you know. Michael Knowles may know a little bit more about MLK, and he may prefer Malcolm X, who was a little bit more, maybe separatist. Malcolm X. He called himself X because he rejected I think he was born Little, but he rejected the slave name, kind of like Kanye did. You cut these blacks a little slack, you know? They don't know better than to embrace their slave name. Slavery is dignified if you're dignified about it. And your forefathers didn't reject those names. Keep them. Keep them. West is a cool name. Little is a cool name. Keep it. Keep your slave name. Don't go all Muslim or changing your name. Come on. Come up with a fake name to rebel against history. Ridiculous. Overreacting to slavery. But anyway, Malcolm X was in the Nation of Islam, and then he rejected that, and then he got assassinated. Nation of Islam, you know, Louis Farrakhan. Angry man. Mix a little bit of truth with lies. Total nutcase. But, pretty funny. And in reality, Trump would be a lot younger than these guys. In reality. But anyway, I like that more, a little bit more alpha, serious face. Alternative timeline. Triple X was already taken, says Rome 13. But yeah, people are so up in arms about it. I mean, I looked at quote tweets, okay? And by and large, these quote tweets go down to number 5. No, this is 2 of your favorites, says deeply rooted black audacity. And they show Satan, a Satan figure, hugging Trump, and Trump looking all beta and pathetic. Satan being all tall, like a full head taller than Trump. And I almost tweeted in response, but I didn't. I was a good boy. I almost tweeted the same thing, meaning meaning MLK and the devil, with the devil horns, kind of disgusting and gross. But Trump in the Oval Office being embraced by Satan. Maybe so. Maybe he was embraced by, as Jesus said, one of you is a devil. Jesus was kissed by a devil named Judas Iscariot, because he called him a devil, you know? So, yeah, you may be right there, even though you think that Trump loves Satan. I don't think that's the case. Kareem, this person named Kareem T. Summa laude. Is he really saying that he's like a smart person? Summa laude? Maybe he's not. Graduated cum laude or summa laude. Trying to equate MLK's tireless fight against racial injustice to Trump's track record is like comparing a marathon runner to a sprinter who tripped at the starting line. One dedicated his life to the long, grueling race for equality, which is not a valid race, not a valid pursuit, by the way. It's funny how we get caught up in pursuits that we shouldn't even be vain pursuits that we shouldn't even be caught up in, and get validated by the world, other people in the world, and think that we're on the right track, on the right path. Obama and all these people. The others stoked division. Yeah, MLK stoked division. And he was also in the grueling race for equality. Satan's race. Satan wanted equality. He wanted to convince Eve that through knowledge they could be equal with God. Rob Tinkham tweeted her. Martin Luther, this is which one is this? Number 7. Cover your eyes, kids, cover your eyes. There's a bad word at the bottom. Some Connie woman is all mad, cussing. Martin Luther King Jr. says Rob Tinkham was a pioneer for human rights. Exactly, communism, fake idea, human rights. You and your orange false god are doing everything to crush human rights. Good, we're crushing communism. Notice how Trump calls out communism. I don't know if that's his speechwriter or if that's him himself. For everyone but yourselves, human rights. It was someone with your mentality who murdered MLK, says Rob Tinkham. Oh, and also you bleached your skin to appear white. Did Brigitte Gabriel really bleach her skin to appear more white? Maybe. A lot of dark people don't like to be so dark, and a lot of white people don't like to be so white. We want to be just right. So vain. Could be. Connie Hewitt says, as if in 1968 Trump... Oh, never mind. Forget that. Center. Dirty woman. Dirty Twitter woman. Don't worry your pretty little head. Let's move on to number 8. This one is another fun-based boomer with the thumbs up. Positivity. Boomer positivity for the win. With 5 thumbs up. How many hands do you have? Dorio Locus? And a praying hands emoji. Nice. Because it's a boomer thing, and I was taught by boomers and people who are older than boomers about MLK as a kid. And that's like a positive thing. Unity. It's funny. This woman just means love, and they're all mad about it. She literally just thinks of MLK as this benign, positive figure, and Trump, too, as a benign fighter for what's right. These people. These boomers love it. And the liberals react. And conservatives, too, roll in their eyes. Anomaly. I don't know if he's a conservative, but he was somebody who searches out true things, facts about history and life and vaccines and different things. And politicians. He's like, you're crazy, lady. You're nuts, lady. And she might be, but she's just being positive. Anne Coilian, a cider lawyer, on number 9 here, shares a purported quote from Dr. Martin Luther King, September 14th, 1966. Something is wrong in the economic system of our nation. Something is wrong with capitalism. Maybe America must move toward a democratic socialism. We must develop programs that will drive the nation to the realization. This is not a good impression of MLK, by the way. For the need for a guaranteed annual income. Wipes brow. That's purportedly a quote of Dr. Martin Luther King. Rejecting Christian capitalism, not commie capitalism, but Christian capitalism. Maybe he's rejecting commie capitalism for full-blown democratic socialism capitalism, meaning the mob votes in their own destruction through being bribed by the phony politicians and community activists like MLK. Dirtbag. Anomaly is the man, says Charlie Church. Yeah, I like him. I don't know if he's the man, but he's a nice young man, and I appreciate him for what he is. Somebody who spreads good information in many cases. You can get well informed by listening to that guy. He researches stuff and he comes out with good videos too. And also he's a rapper. Yeah, interesting. So MLK, not as good of a guy as our greatest president, Donald J. Trump. But maybe I don't want to have too much of rose-colored glasses, or rose-colored glasses at all, about Trump. I was educated in rose-colored glasses towards MLK. By the way, Brigitte Gabriel, ACT Brigitte is her ACT, Act for America. JLP has spoken at different Act for America chapters, nationwide organization, I guess. Jack Smith is out of control, she says. There is no justice in America. And she has this picture of Jack Smith looking like a clergy male or something like that. This is the guy who was appointed by DOJ's Merrick Garland, not a Christian, to investigate Trump over the 2020 election shenanigans. So right on, Brigitte Gabriel. Funny, based, nutty lady boomer whom I appreciate and like. Firebrand for maybe even Christianity.